Yo, what up? It's your boy Todd coming at you with more weak, flaccid advice via the internet. Everyone's favorite pastime. Let's talk about a dichotomy of are you underneath or on top of the venue? And this is something that I myself am still working on. So I'll share with you kind of what's occurring. But first, let's go into a story. Let's use an example, okay? The average guy, not saying you, the average guy, when he goes out, is in reaction to the venue. Okay? Can I get in? Can I not get in? I'm a little bit nervous. I stand in the corner. I can't really speak up. I drink held close to the chest. I'm nervous. Look at all these girls. On and on and yada, 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 yada. Compare that, and this is an extreme. I'm not saying you need to be this, but compare that to Drake. When Drake shows up to a venue, do you think that he's in reaction to the venue? Do you think he's underneath the venue? Or do you think he's on top of the venue? The venue is in reaction to him. Hands down. Any of those types of guys. It's in reaction to him. The people, the place could blow the venue out. Whereas for most of us, we're underneath the venue. So there's this journey from being underneath the venue to being on top of the venue. And this still happens to me. Even when I go out, most of my nights currently, just going to be honest, I still start underneath the venue. Where I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do this. Nerves, people. And slowly over the course of the night, that's a lie. Not even solely over the course. Probably within 15 to 30 minutes of being out, I flip and I'm on top of that venue. Okay? So what I mean by that is I am a dominant energy force within that venue. Talking to everyone, chatting it up. The real crux of this, the real crux of moving from being underneath to being on top of the venue is social freedom. Hands down, if you go out with the goal of social freedom, you will shift from being underneath to being on top of the venue. Yes, again, I use these examples of Drake. That's an extreme outlier. Look, real talk, you're not going to be on top of the venue like that. That's nuts. So that's on top of the venue in a way that you blow the venue out. But you'll at least be meeting the venue, okay? You'll at least be out there doing your thing, socially free, people paying attention to you, you having fun, you being the vibe, you bringing the energy, you being the life of the party, and the venue being in reaction to you. So I just want to elucidate this being underneath versus being on top of the venue, okay? And I don't want to make this another should and another have to. It's just a good litmus test to say, am I underneath this venue or am I on top of this venue? And for most of us, most of the time, we're going to be underneath the venue. And there are things that you can do to get on top of the venue. Social freedom really being the number one. Feeling good in your own body, getting your energy out, getting loose, and getting to the point that you're on top of that venue and people are in reaction to you. So are you underneath or are you on top of the venue? Great litmus test for you and a really good marker of social freedom. right? So if I'm working with a guy or if I'm looking at a guy and he is very socially free, he is probably at least meeting the venue, somewhat on top, or at least meeting the venue. Now, not all venues are created equal, right? I mean, there's venues that are ginormous. So it's like, hey, just meeting the venue in of itself is a huge accomplishment. So this video is short, but I just want to talk about being underneath versus being on top of the venue and how it's a good litmus test for you to make your shift to become more socially free and to move from where everyone else is, where they're in reaction, to at least meeting or being on top of the venue. Okay, that's it. I'll see you out or back in here.